Hello all. In this video, we'll be looking at the remaining part of chapter 4, lesson 3 about the angle relationships in triangles. In the previous video we have discussed about a theorem and a few of the points which are derived from the theorem called as corollaries. So let's see in this lesson, in this part of the lesson, what do we have. So this is just a quick review for what we have learned yesterday about the triangle sum theorem. So the triangle sum theorem says that all the three angles in a triangle should be equal. Now from that is derived the two corollaries, which says the acute angles of a right triangle are complementary, means if in a right triangle, of course, one is going to be a right angle, the remaining two has to be 90 degrees. So that's what they mean by complementary. When you add them up, they must give you 90 degrees. And the other one is in an equiangular triangle, each angle must be 60 degrees. This already we have learned in lesson 2 about equiangular angles, triangle. So equiangular triangles, each angle must equal 60 degrees. Now for today's lesson, we are going to be learning a little bit more advanced of a theorem. But to know that, we need to know what is a remote interior angle. Now, when you hear the word remote, that means remote is something which is far away. Now, why do we call a remote controller for the TV? Because we could operate that from far away. We don't need to go near the TV and operate it. So, remote in the meaning, it is something which is far away or which is distant from. So, in the same context, a remote interior angle means the angles which are far away from a certain angle. Now, to get into that, you need to know what are the interior and what are the exterior angles. So, interior angles are the angles which are inside the triangle. As you can see, triangle ABC are inside the triangle, so they are called as interior angles. And exterior is outside, so the angles which you could see, angle DEF, which are outside the triangle, are called as exterior angles. Now, so this is what I explained, the interior and exterior. Now also I have explained the interior angle. As you know, how is an interior angle formed? When it's formed by the two sides of a triangle. So when the two sides of a triangle meet, that's when an interior angle is formed. How is an exterior angle formed? It is formed by one side of the triangle and the extension of an adjacent side. So if you think the triangle stops here, you can extend it, the adjacent side, and say that it makes up an angle too. So an exterior angle is formed when one side of the triangle is extended of the adjacent side. So like that done are these three angles, angle DEF, so we call them as exterior angles. Now coming to the main part, which is the remote interior angle, it is they are the interior angles that is not adjacent to the exterior angles. So for example, adjacent means together. So which is the angle which is adjacent to angle D? Angle B and angle A. Which is the adjacent for angle, which is the angles which are not adjacent to E? A and C means which are far away. So that's why we use this word remote. Remote means far away from that particular angle. So the remote angles for interior angles for F is going to be B and C. You cannot say A because F and A are together. So F is not remote to A. It's not far, it's near. So the ones which are far away are B and C. So just remember, remote means far away or away from. So the angles which are away from the particular angle we are talking about are called as the remote interior angles. So as you can see this, the remote interior angles are 1 and 2, for the exterior angle 4. So for exterior angle 4, the remote interior angles are 1 and 2. Now, based on this is the theorem of exterior angle theorem. Now, what does this angle theorem say? This exterior angle theorem says that if you want to find the value of the exterior angle, okay, that's for example, angle 4, you can add up the sum of 1 and 2, angles 1 and 2, which are the remote interior angles. You will find the value for the exterior angle. I'll repeat again. If you add angle 1 and 2, that they are the remote interior angles for angle 4. So if you add up 1 and 2, you will get the value for the measure of angle 4. For example, if angle A and angle B are 60 and 70 respectively, the exterior angle is going to be 130. The exterior angle is the sum of the two remote interior angles. That's what they are trying to say here. Okay, let's try with okay, there is another theorem here you need to learn. So altogether in this lesson, there are 3 theorems and 2 corollaries, right? So another theorem is that the third angles theorem. What does the third angles theorem says? It says that if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the third pair of angles are congruent. Let me make it simple for you. If you have two triangles, if in any of the triangle, if one of these angles are equal and if another angles are also equal, then the third angle will automatically be equal or correspond congruent to that angle. So here, how do you know that angles are equal? They will mark by these. See, you can see that these marks. So what does it mean? Angle L is congruent to angle R. Congruent means equal. And angle M is congruent to angle S, which means M and S are equal. So automatically what happens? Angle N is of course equal to angle N, or it's congruent to angle T. So angle N is congruent to angle T. Okay, now with an example, if you see, as you can see, now always the triangles will not be like this. Definitely they'll be turned to the other side. So if it was like this, it's easy. You can find the unknown angle is 60. But if it was something like this, for example here, now what is angle y? If you want to find out how much is angle y, look at the marks. Each is marked with one arc, which means if this is 42, there's also going to be 42. So what is the measure of angle A? It's going to be 86 because they both are double marked by the double marked. So, which means angle A and angle X are congruent. So, what does that leave with? That leaves with angle B being congruent to angle Z. So, this is all the third angles theorem. That's all. Okay, let's look at an example. So, here in this question, you have to find angle ACD. So, you have to find angle A, C, and D, which is the exterior angle. They want you to find angle C, which is the exterior angle. Now, another question it might arise for you, how do I know which angle to find? If you cannot find the angle by these ACD, always look at the letter which is in between. They are referring to that angle. It cannot be ACB. You cannot say this is angle C because they're talking about ACD, which is going outside. So they are referring to this angle. Now, of course, we are dealing with variables. So the first step first, always you need to find the value of z. So to find the value of z, of course, we need an equation. So to write an equation, we have to say that this question uses the theorem, right? The one which we learned before. So exterior angle theorem. So according to that, you could say angle ACD, that is the exterior angle, is equal to angle BAC and ABC. Or easily you could say angle C is equal to angle A plus angle B. It's more easier that way, but this is the correct way of writing it. This is just to make it easy for you. I'm saying angle C is equal to angle A plus angle B, because angle C is exterior, angle A and B are remote interior angles. So if I write that, if I substitute the values, so angle C is going to be 6z minus 9, angle A is 2z plus 1, and what is angle B? It is 90 because it's already marked. Okay, so we know how to solve an equation now. So once you solve that equation, you will be left with z equals 25. So once you have found the value of z, then it's easy. Almost you're done with 75% of the question. You just have to find the remaining. That's ACD. ACD. So you take the value which they have given you, that is 6z minus 9, and then substitute the value of z in place of that and find it out. So that's going to give you a 141 degrees. So angle ACD is equal to 141 degrees. It's easy. Now this one is the third angle theorem. right? Which says that if any two of the angles are equal, that means the remaining angles are equal too. So all what you need to do is, this is my advice to you, write down the congruent side so that you can have a clear picture of the triangles given. So starting with which are the congruent angles? We have angle N equals angle S, the corresponding angles, or the congruent angles, okay? Angle M is congruent to angle R, as they have marked. So that leaves with angle P being congruent to angle T. Now, keeping this in mind, they want you to find angle P and angle T. So again, you are working with variables, so you need to find the value of the variable. So you need to write an equation. How am I going to write the equation? Now I know that angle P is equal to angle T. So that's due to third angles theorem. So 2x squared equals 4x squared minus 32. That's T and this is P. So as you would normally solve an equation. Okay, the only problem here is because of this x square. Now you know it's negative 32 and then the minus and minus gets cancelled because both of them have minuses. So that will leave you with x squared equals 32 divided by 2, as we have to get rid of this 2 as well. So that will leave you with x squared equals 16. Now, can I stop here? Of course not, because this is an exponent. X squared equals 16. You have to find the value of x, not x squared. So to find the value of x, as you have already learned in the algebra lesson, how do you find out what's the value of x? It's going to be the root of 16. 2 means the root. You know that there is no number written here, means it's a root, the square root. So which number multiplied by 2 times gives you 16? That is 4. So the value of x is 4. So what you can do, just substitute that in place of each place of the angle. That angle P is 2x squared. So that's going to be 32. So 2, 4 fours are 16. That will give you P. Angle P is equal to 32. Now to find angle T, there are two ways. Either you substitute the value of x in place of 4x squared minus 32 and find out, or which is the super easy way, as we already told that angle P is congruent to angle T, so we could say that angle T is also 32 degrees because they both are equal, right? So simply you could say angle T is equal to 32 degrees because angle P is congruent to angle T. That's all you have to do, nothing else. So with practice, I hope that becomes more practical. So let's start by solving these questions here. To start with, these are the vocabulary words, so just let's go through them. To remember the meaning of the word remote interior angle, think of a television remote control. What is another way to remember the term remote? As I said, they want you to tell them another meaning for the word remote. So we could say far away, right? So up to you how you feel, which is easy for you, so you can write it like that. So the term remote means far away or distant. There are many words to explain that. So whichever word you feel you can remember, you can write that. Now, an exterior angle is drawn at vertex E of triangle DEF. Let me draw a picture to make this thing clear for you. They have a triangle DEF. So this is triangle, and it's D, E, and F. So what did they say? Exterior angle is drawn at vertex E. So which means this has been extended to draw like that. So there's going to be a exterior angle here. Write it here. What are its remote interior angles? So which are the remote interior angles for this? Remote means far away. So which are the two far away angles? Angle D and angle F. So that's what they want you to write. Angle D and angle F. Okay. What do you call segments, rays, or lines that are added to a given diagram? So in yesterday's video, we saw that if there was any line added to prove something, what is that line called? That's called as an auxiliary line. This is a line or any segment, anything which is added to a diagram to show the proof. Okay, now let's start with this question. Find each angle measure. As soon as you see, you know that you have to be using the exterior angle theorem. So according to the exterior angle theorem, the angle which is outside is equal to the sum of the two angles which are inside. So first let's write the statement. So according to the statement, you could say angle P, confuse yourself with NPQ. You can write it that way. That's the perfect way of writing it. But maybe because it's just the beginning, you might get confused. So let me write it this way. Angle P is equal to the sum of angle M and N because they are the two remote interior angles. So angle M plus angle N. So angle P is going to be 48 degrees, right? They have given already it is going to be 48 degrees. And angle M is 3y plus 1 plus 2y plus 2 because angle N is 2y plus 2. Why are we doing this? We need to find the value of y first. Only then we can find the measure of angle M. So this is going to be, first let's simplify that part. So it's going to be 5y plus 3, which means 48 minus 3 is going to be 5y. 48 minus 3 is going to give you 45 equals 5y. So y is going to be equal to 9. Now once you have found the value of y, you can substitute in whichever angle they're asking. They want angle M, which means this angle here. So measure of angle M is going to be 3y plus 1 degrees, which means 3 multiplied by n plus 1. So 27 plus 1 is going to give you a 28. Here I forgot to write why did we say this? Because of the exterior angles theorem. We need to state that why did we write this. Okay, so this is easy. Let's go on to another question and see what they have for us. So here you have to find angle L, which means this angle you need to find. First, you need to find out which is the exterior angle and which are the remote interior angles. So exterior angles are, exterior angle is this angle J, which is marked, which is already 90 degrees. So the two remote interior angles for angle J is angle K and angle L. So let's write the statement first. So angle J, that's the exterior angle, is equal to angle K plus angle L, which are the two remote interior angles. Why did we say this? Due to the exterior angles theorem. Okay. So angle J is given to be 90 degrees, which is equal to angle K is 7x plus 6x minus 1. So we have two x's on the same side, so we can simplify them. 7 plus 6 is going to give me a 13x minus 1, right? So what's the next step? Move the number to the other side, so that will become 90 plus 1 is equal to 13x, which is going to give you 91 equals 13x. So x is going to be equal to 7. 91 divided by 13 will give you 7. Now that you have found what is the value of 7, whichever angle they're asking you can substitute the value. This they want for angle L, which means they're referring to this angle. So angle L is going to be 6x minus 1 degrees, which means 6 multiplied by 7 minus 1, which is going to give you 41 degrees. So the measure of angle L is going to be 41 degrees. This is how you use the exterior angles theorem. So let's solve this, but in this picture they did not give you a figure. So you need to draw a figure so that we can visually understand what kind of question this is. In triangle ABC, so they gave you the triangle name is ABC, so just draw the triangle first and name it as A, B, and C. Angle A is 65 degrees. Just write down all the information which they have given. And the measure of an exterior angle at C. So there is an exterior angle here at C. I hope that's straight. Okay, so this angle is 117. Find measure of angle B. So they want you to find this angle here, and then measure of angle BCA. So they also want you to find this angle, and they also want you to find this angle. They said BCA, which means this angle. So before we do anything, of course, we need to find the value first, right? So to find the value, what are we going to do? We are going to use the exterior angles theorem. We don't know the measure of this angle, so let's first write down that angle C is going to be equal to angle A plus angle B because of the exterior angle theorem. Okay, now angle C is 117 degrees and angle A is 65 degrees. We know we are finding now angle B. So 117 minus 65 is going to give you 52 degrees. 117 minus 65, that will give you 52 degrees. So angle B already we found is 52 degrees. As soon as you find a number, write it down in the triangle. Then we found angle B. Now the remaining is angle BCA. So BCA, we need to find this angle. So there are two ways to find it. You can either, as you know, according to the triangle sum theory, you can add this 2 and subtract from 180. Or if you could notice, this is a straight line. These are angles on a straight line. So if the angles on a straight line, what are the angles on a straight line add up to 180. So you could simply subtract that from 180 and get the answer 2. So angle C is going to be equal to 180 minus 117. And why did we say this? Because of the linear pair theorem. If you remember, what is this linear pair theorem? Linear pair theorem says the two angles on a straight line add up to 180. That's what we have done here. So 180 minus 117 will give you 63 degrees. So angle C is going to be 63 degrees. Else, what you can do, you can say angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. Why did we say this? Due to the triangle sum theory. Now what is triangle sum theory? You need to watch yesterday's video if you don't remember that. Triangle sum theory, theorem, okay? Triangle sum theorem. So angle A is 65 degrees, angle B is 52 degrees. We don't know what is angle C, but we know that all of them equal to 180. So this is going to give you 117 plus angle C is equal to 180. So angle C is going to be 180 minus 117 degrees. So that leaves that with the same answer. Angle C is going to be equal to 63 degrees. It's the same. Okay, now how did this equal 117? You know, the two remote interior angles, if they add up, that will give the amount of the exterior angle. So you can either subtract that by 180, saying that due to linear pair theorem, or you can even do this. Both are right. Okay, now let's come to this part of the lesson, which is about the last theory which we learned. So here, what did I say? As soon as you see something like this, write down all the congruent pairs. So here we have angle A is equal to congruent to angle D, and also angle B is congruent to angle E. So that makes it angle C is congruent to angle F. Okay, so they want you to find angle C and angle F. So to find angle C and F, of course, we need to write an equation. Why did we say angle C is equal to angle F? Due to the third angles theorem. So that's why we said that they are equal. So we have to say here third angles theorem. Okay, now how much is angle C? They gave us it's 4x squared equals 3x squared plus 25, right? So that means that will leave us with 4x squared minus 3x squared equals 25. That means 4 minus 3 is 1, but we don't write the 1. So that leaves us with x squared equals 15. Are we done yet? No, because we need to find the value of x, not x squared. So to find the value of x, you need to find the root of 25. That is, x is equal to 5. So once you have found the value of x, we can substitute in the value of angle C, which is 4x squared. So that's going to be 4. 5 in place of x, it's going to be 5 squared. That's going to give us 4 multiplied by 25 is equal to 100 degrees. So angle C is 100 degrees. Now also we need to find angle F. Now you can substitute that in place of x in 5 in place of x and find out the measure of angle F, but it's not needed, as already we said angle C is congruent to angle F, so that leaves angle F also with 100 degrees because they both are of the same measurements. That is due to the third angles theorem. So this is how you need to find the value of the angles using third angles theorem. Let's try one more. Now this looks a bit different because the triangles are together. So let's see. You have to find angle S and you have to find angle U. So of course we have to write down the corresponding angles first. That's why I said write them down so that you will not get confused. So here we have this angle R is equal to this part, right? So this angle is equal to this part of angle T. So that leaves that with angle S being congruent to angle U, right? So angle S is 4x plus 9, which is going to be equal to 5x minus 11. So 4x minus 5x is going to be negative 11, negative 9. So there's going to be one negative x equals negative 20. So you can remove the negative signs. So that leaves you with x equals 20. Now take the measurement of angle x. That's 4x plus 9 degrees. So that's 4 multiplied by 20 plus 9. So that's going to give you 89. Now, can I say angle U is also 89? Yes, you can, because angle S is congruent to angle U. You can say that angle U is also 89 degrees. So that's all you have to do. If you understand the theorems well, you can finish off the lesson very easily. Now, before that, there is one more question. Now, this is the kind of questions you'll be getting in the coming on lessons. They will not be, of course, giving you the table, but I want you to get used to it. That's why I'm showing you this. You have to write the statement and the reason. Okay, now what are they saying? Complete the proof of corollary 422. And the corollary for 422 was the acute angles in a triangle, in a right triangle, are complementary, right? The acute angles in a triangle, in a right triangle, are complementary, which means these two angles, when you add them, they should give you 90 degrees. All right. So given, what is given for you? They have given angle DEF, triangle DEF with right angle F. They have given you the right angle if is F. So prove angle D and angle E are complementary. So you need to prove that these two angles are complementary, which means 90 degrees. So this is how you draw a proof table. It's called the T table, a column table. So starting with what they have given us. Triangle DEF with right angle F. Now look at this. If they have given any information for you, you would have to just write there, it's given. If they have given you already, just write there, given. So angle DEF with right angle F is already given. Now here they gave you the reason. We have to write the statement, which is the definition of right angle. From where can we find the definition of right angle here in the figure? Angle F, right? So you have to say that measure of angle F is equal to 90 degrees. That's because of the definition of right angle. Right, let's move on to the next one. Angle D plus angle E plus angle F equals 180 degrees. Where did we learn anything like this? Angle, the three angles in a triangle should give us 180. We learned that in the triangle sum theorem, if you could remember that. Now, angle D plus angle E plus 90. In place of F, they wrote 90. So what are they doing by writing the value in place of that variable? They are just substituting. You also write substitute. Substitute. Substitution, okay? Then, where is the subtraction property? Now, once we have written this statement, what is going to be the subtraction? I mean, to find now angle D and E, you have to subtract 180 from 90. So how is that question going to look like? So if you get something like measure of angle D plus measure of angle E is equal to 90 degrees. So what happened here? Here we had 90 and 80, but here it became 90. That is due to subtraction property, which means if you find some kind of questions like reasons like this, subtraction property, addition property, multiplication property, you just need to write the answer after solving the previous step. Now angle D and E are complementary. Already that's the last statement you need to write. Angle D and E are complementary. Why is that? Because of the definition of complementary angles. D and E are complementary because they are complementary. So that's why we have to write its definition of complementary angles. So this also comes with only practice and understanding, because you need to think well. This is how we prove something in math. So this is just the beginning. So the more you practice, definitely the more you will understand that better. Okay, so hopefully we'll meet again in another video. But till that, keep practicing, and it's very important that you practice, as every question has different ways of solving. You cannot stick to one way only and say no, this is the correct way. Every question has its own style of solving. So unless you keep solving, you will not learn those styles. So keep practicing till we meet again.